You're watching the Bahamas Tonight, the Northern Edition. Good evening, all. I'm Shasheena. Rolle. As always, it is so great to have you with us. The man accused of the death of his son was hauled before the court today. The 22-year-old Grand Bahama man took the opportunity to communicate with the family of the victim while heading into the courthouse. Sabrina Brown has the details.
Armed police officers surrounded the Freeport Magistrates Court as family members and onlookers gathered to get a glimpse of the man accused of killing his 2-year-old son. Emotions ran high as 22-year-old David Alexander Stewart arrived at court to face formal charges.
I molested him though. I molested him though. I'm sorry though. I'm sorry. I didn't mean to.
Only members of the media and a few of the victim's family members were allowed inside the courtroom for the brief arraignment before Magistrate Andrew Forbes. Stewart sat alone at the front of the room, and at one point he began to cry out loud. The young father was charged with murder. It is alleged that he intentionally and unlawfully caused the death of his son Peter Higgs on Monday, April 29th. He was not required to enter a plea as a preliminary inquiry will be held. Stewart, who was represented by attorney K. Brian Hanna, was denied bail and remanded to Her Majesty's Prison in New Providence until August 19th. As the accused was leaving the courtroom, he looked at the child's grandmother and said, "I'm sorry." She then responded quietly, "I forgive you." According to police reports, the toddler was found unresponsive at a home on Magellan Crescent in Freeport on Monday afternoon. He was taken to hospital where he was later pronounced dead. He reportedly had bruises about the body. As family members try to cope with this difficult situation, they say they have a message for parents.
Please watch your children. Be careful who you leave your children with.
This is a lesson well learned, but you know what? We give it all back to the Lord.
Mothers and fathers, it's praying time. It's all about our children. Our children are the sons and daughters of Abraham, and we got to save our children. We got to protect them. We got to guide them. Lord, I feel like preaching on this mic this morning. Hallelujah, Jesus.
Sabrina Brown, ZNS Network News.
Now, leader of the Grand Bahama Christian Council is weighing in on the tragic death of the 2-year-old. Tonight, he says the council is keeping the family in prayers. He is also sending a warning to parents to pay strict attention to their children. In other news, a precedent could be set on Grand Bahama. That's if a local principal has her way. Parents and students at the Jack Hayward High School expressing outrage following an announcement made last night at a Parents Teachers Association meeting. Parents were told the school will not have a graduation ceremony. Today, the group took their plight to the Ministry of Education. Joan Davis Rolle was there.
I don't know why Ms. Ward feels that she should go down in history as the first principal to ever cancel graduation.
The issue has become a major bone of contention. Drama unfolded Friday morning when irate but cordial parents turned up to the C.A. Smith complex, and so did the police. The concerned parents as well as students on a mission to meet with the Deputy Director of Education, Sandra Edgecombe. While waiting, the group got the attention of government officials, among them the Honorable Dr. Michael Dobble, who inquired about their plight.
We're here to protest for our children because this will be the first time in Bahamian history that there's not a graduation.
Yes. Okay.
And as concerned parents, if those children who should not graduate and whatever they have done, we say discipline them. We're not taking that stand, but we don't feel like the crime fits the punishment.
Okay. All right. What we would do is right now the Minister for Foreign Affairs and Immigration, the Honorable Gregory Morse, and myself is about to have a meeting and a ceremony. The minute as we finish with that ceremony, I would try to get a hold of Ms. Edgecombe and to find out exactly the details, and we will definitely be able to work from there.
The parents then moved from the inside to the outside of the complex, where they, along with students, spoke out.
Graduation is a milestone in everyone's life, and for them to this is a one-time thing for these students, a milestone that everyone goes through, and for her to make this decision, or for the Ministry of Education to make this decision to deprive them of this once-in-a-lifetime milestone, I think is atrocious.
I and all of my classmates go through hell every year pushing to get these grades, to get these BGCSEs, to get these BJCs, to go to college. And I don't feel that I should not have graduation because I have people who are proud of me, of what I've done, because a lot of people couldn't do it. A lot of people getting pregnant, a lot of people dropping out of school, a lot of people are not meeting the 2 point.
Our motto is no reward without labor. We've put in our labor. It's time for us to receive our reward. And I think it's really, really unfair because everybody's day is going to come when they do things as a senior. You have your ditch day, you have your water fights. That's senior things to do. You understand? Everyone as a child went through things like that when they were in their senior years. You're not a senior if you don't do things like that. So for us to be punished because we indulge in those things that are yearly, then I think it's really unfair because she did it as a senior, you did it as a senior, and we did it as a senior.
I promised her that she's going to be honored at the end of the day if she do her best, and she did her best. All of our children did their best. The 3.0 averages, and to tell us that they cannot have a graduation is very, very disappointing. I spoke to Ms. Edgecombe myself personally last week, and she told me that it's unfair to deprive the children of a ceremony.
I'm very, very disappointed. I feel like my graduation is entitled to me. I don't feel like it's a time for me to be proud, but for my parents to be proud. It's their time. They didn't see how their hard work paid off. If it wasn't for them, we would not be here. They pushed us. It's them. She's not punishing us. She is punishing our parents.
Eventually, they were all ordered by police to disperse, but it was then that Deputy Director Edgecombe arrived, acknowledging their concerns and giving this assurance.
I give you my assurance that once I'm settled in, we're free to talk.
Within minutes, the group was invited to the Ministry of Education's office on the 3rd floor, and only a selected few, due to space constraints, were allowed to meet with Edgecombe in the presence of Education Executives Mary Cooper and Marvin Rolle. Edgecombe stated that following the meeting, local school stakeholders will meet and a final decision on whether or not graduation will be held at Jack Hayward High School will be announced. Joan Davis Rolle, 7 Network News.
Thank you, Joan. Well, a storm of a different type hitting Grand Key today. The entire island was caught in the middle of a hailstorm shortly before noon. Residents say Grand Key experienced torrential rain and winds of up to 40 miles per hour that produced several storm twisters that left piles of hailstones in its wake. Excited residents ran outside to witness a hailstorm that reportedly lasted 10 to 15 minutes, and they say the hail was about the size of golf balls. Some residents bagged the hail and stored them in freezers. The weather in Grand Key right now is rather calm and quite a contrast to the conditions experienced earlier today. Stay with us, there's more news right after this.